Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is August 30th, 2025, and Barcelona have made a new signing. And I'm going to tell you who it is. Also, AC Milan looking to take Andreas Christensen during the final days of the summer transfer market. And finally, Hector Fort is nearing an exit. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and as you know, I'm currently traveling. This is why I'm doing this live video. This is not a podcast, so I will not be reading the comment section. This is just to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news while I'm on the road. I apologize for not making any videos the last 2 days. Again, it was because I was traveling, but don't worry. No more days without videos. And I already went live a few moments ago. If you watched that video, plus this one, you're going to be all up to date, all updated on all Barcelona news, all up until now. And of course, as the days go by, I'm going to continue making videos until I go back home. Anyways, let's dive right into the news because, ladies and gentlemen, on September 11th, we could be finding out whether the Barcelona-Villarreal match could be played in the USA. As you know, La Liga has been trying to play La Liga matches in the US as part of the, to promote La Liga, make more money. I'm sure Javier Tebas is gonna make some side money too. Anyways, I wouldn't be surprised, but whatever. Javier Tebas has tried to do this 3 times already. Finally, this 3rd time, it worked. He took it to the Royal Spanish Football Federation. The Spanish Football Federation approved that match between Barcelona and Villarreal to be played in Miami. But now it needs the approval of UEFA. And they're saying that on September 11th, UEFA is going to be meeting and that they could decide on whether to sanction or not this match. So whether allow it to happen or not. Now, we'll see what's going to happen. Seferin has already made statements before saying that European clubs should play in Europe. So that maybe could give us a preview on whether Seferin ends up saying, nope, sorry, that's going to stay in Spain. And they're saying it's even more likely that the Milan versus Como ends up being played in Australia rather than the Villarreal Barcelona being played in Miami. Why? Because unlike in La Liga and the Serie A, there's absolutely no complaints about Como and Milan playing in Australia. They don't care. Plus, Serie A, we know it's been on the downhill for a very long time. As far as La Liga, there's a lot of complaints. All the players, all the captains from all the teams have signed that statement that said, we don't want this. The Players Association has said, we don't want this. I honestly think that shouldn't happen either. But anyways, my opinion doesn't really matter. We'll see what Seferin and the rest of the UEFA Board of Executives decide on September 11th. Now, that's not the only thing they're going to be deciding. They're also going to be deciding on what stadiums will the finals of the Women's and the Men's Champions League going to be played at. And they're saying that for the men's finals, most likely it's going to be the Atletico Madrid Stadium, El Metropolitano, which is in Madrid, which if it happens, I guess, in Barcelona make it to the final, a little bit of an advantage, right? You don't have to travel too far, even though obviously you're not playing at your home stadium. Now, speaking of the Champions League, of course, as you know by now, the draw was completed. And these are the teams that Barcelona will face during the group stages. We got PSG, Frankfurt, Olympiacos, Copenhagen, Chelsea, Club Brugge, Slavia Praha, and Newcastle. Not a bad draw. As far as Eintracht Frankfurt, I think, we need revenge from what happened in the Europa League. So hopefully we go there and completely destroy them and annihilate them. Olympiacos, Copenhagen, Club Brugge, Slavia Praha. I think those are fairly easy opponents. Chelsea, that's going to be an interesting match. They have been improving. They did win the Club World Cup. And then, of course, there's PSG. I think that's going to be one hell of a match. I know a lot of people prefer usually the easier route to the final. I've always said I don't. I want to see the strongest teams face off against Barcelona. Why? Because A, it's Barcelona. I believe in my team. I believe in Flick's players. I believe that we can beat anyone. And B, it's for the spectacle. After all, sports isn't entertainment. And why not watch the 2 best teams go at it, right? Who wants to see freaking Barcelona versus Slavia Praha? I'd much rather see a Barcelona versus PSG. But of course, I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. What did you think about the draw? Let me know down below in the comment section. And with that, let's move on to the next bit of news because, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona have completed a new signing, and it's no other than Ibrahim Babayv. Now, Ibrahim Babayv is a 17-year-old center midfielder. He is originally from Azerbaijan, but he also holds Swiss passport. That's important. Why? Because as you know, there is a limit on foreign players playing on your squad. So if a player holds a passport from Europe, that's obviously great because it doesn't occupy that foreign slot. But Ibrahim Babayv had spent some days training with the Juvenil B, or the Barcelona under-19 B team, and during it kind of like a trial. And during those trials, he really impressed his coaches. So Barcelona have decided to sign him on a permanent basis. So Ibrahim Babayv is now officially a Barcelona player, where of course he's going to play most likely Juvenil B, maybe Juvenil A, work his way up, and who knows, maybe one day become a first team player. They're saying he's very, very promising. And of course, being from Azerbaijan, he just became the first Azerbaijani player to wear the Blaugrana kit. By the way, he plays for the Azerbaijan under-17 national team. Now, on to the next bit of news, because ladies and gentlemen, AC Milan are looking to hijack Andreas Christensen during the final days of the transfer market. Now, the transfer market closes tomorrow at midnight. Tomorrow is August 31st at 11:59 p.m. That's when it closes, because at 12 obviously becomes Monday, September 1st. So tomorrow is the last day of the summer transfer market, and AC Milan are looking to hijack Christensen because they believe that he would be a great signing for them. Now, AC Milan really value Andreas Christensen's calmness under pressure, his clean distribution from the back, and of course the fact that he has plenty of experience at the highest level. You know, he's won the Champions League with Chelsea. So AC Milan looking to make Christensen an irrefutable offer. They want to make him an offer as far as salary that he would not be able to say no. And of course, if Christensen says, okay, then I want to go to AC Milan, Barcelona, being that this is his last year of contract, they would kind of be forced to sell him. And it's reported that AC Milan will be willing to pay 30 million euros for Andreas Christensen, which of course would be a great deal for the club because the club paid nothing for him. He's signed for free. 30 million would be 30 million pure profit. But I obviously would never, ever sell Christensen right now because, you know, we had Inigo Martinez leave. And if Christensen leaves too, you know, what does that leave us with? Just Pau Cubarsí and Eric Garcia, maybe Gerard Martin, and then that's it. 3 center backs, right? So I think it will be a terrible, terrible idea to let Christensen go, no matter how much money AC Milan end up offering for the Danish center back. Now, speaking of defenders and speaking of defenders leaving, we have to talk about Hector Fort because he's very, very close to leaving. And where to? Where it looks like Mallorca. Now, Hector Fort had a lot of interest from many clubs in the Serie A, in the Premier League, in the French League, in La Liga. Actually, Bundesliga, sorry. Dortmund wanted him too. And it looks like Mallorca are favorites to take him. As I told you during the last podcast on Wednesday, Barcelona had met with delegates from Mallorca for 2.5 hours, where they agreed on the transfer of Jean Virgili. They also discussed Daniel Rodriguez, and they discussed Hector Fort. So Mallorca are incredibly interested in Hector Fort. It looks like Maffeo, their right back, is set to leave. So if he does end up leaving, they're going to go and sign Hector Fort. Of course, the deal is, or at least what Barcelona prefer, is for Hector Fort to go on loan, 1-season loan. That way he can get the minutes that he needs and hopefully reach the potential that Barcelona believe that he possesses, and then come back. However, the club are not ruling out a sale. They're not ruling out a sale, kind of like that of Jean Virgili, where Mallorca would pay a transfer fee and Barcelona would get to keep, 50% of his rights plus a buyback clause. So Hector Fort looks like getting very close to leaving to Mallorca, unless, of course, he says, I don't want to leave, and then he ends up staying, which I don't think would be the smartest thing for him. Again, Eric Garcia and Koundé are both ahead of him. And, unless, of course, Eric Garcia now becomes the starting center back with Pau Cubarsí, something we discussed in a previous video, then maybe that would open the door for Hector Fort to become Koundé's sub. But either way, this guy needs minutes. He's 19 years old. He's in a phase of his career where he needs to be playing so he can grow, develop. Otherwise, he can risk stagnating or plateauing. So he needs the minutes. We'll see what happens. Again, 1 day left. Counting today, I guess 2 days left in the summer transfer market. We'll see what happens. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment, and of course, also don't forget to watch the video that I just posted a few moments ago. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, these guys.